Hello, everybody. Welcome to Town to 909, or welcome back, Mr. Mick Fleetwood, right there, Mr. Wonderful. Um, John McVie down here with the bass guitar. And me, Danny Kerwin 909. We're going to be reviewing Fleetwood Mac's fourth studio album, and that's, of course, Killing House. And you're probably wondering, that's not Killing House, that's the
Holly
Hollies.
House.
That's the Hollies, dear Elise King Mice in Reverse album. And you'll be correct, but I don't own the album and probably won't for a very long time because I'll go more in depth on that. But yeah, yeah, you need them though. But yeah, Killing House. I'll give the microphone to Johnny McVie for his awesome music lesson, history lesson, as you will, and we'll go from there.
All right. Okay, so not much history with this one. So, of course, this is the first album without Peter Green, who had already left the band at this point. So, guess who's back after being absent on Then Play On? The man himself, Jeremy Spencer.
That's my broom guy. That's my broom guy. We don't say his name on this channel.
Oh, right. It's like Voldemort. We can't say his name. Regardless, he's back. He's kind of back in the fold. He's now back more prominent on this album. One thing I probably should have mentioned in the last episode was during the Then Play On sessions, John married Christine Perfect, who was kind of around. She played a little bit on Mr. Wonderful and a little bit on Then Play On, but not a whole lot. But by the time we get to Kiln House, she's starting to become more prominent in the studio. She's playing a lot more piano and even provides some backing vocals on this album. So yeah, and also, of course, you can kind of see it a little bit. It's a bit jittery, but of course, she made the cover art to the album, which we'll say it's definitely, I actually kind of like it. Actually, I like the colors to it personally, but still very nice. The album title comes from some house in Hampshire. It was kind of nearby where they were recording, so they might as well just call the album that. So this album didn't do as well as the previous one. It only got to 39 in the UK and 69 in the US. So yeah, a little bit of a step down, but yeah, so we'll see how much they dropped. So that's all I got for the background info.
Background information.
Anything you like to say or add, Garrett, before we start reviewing?
Yeah, that album cover gives me serious Hansel and Gretel vibes. Like the kids are lost in the woods and they find the kiln house, which I looked up what a kiln was, and a kiln is a furnace. So yeah, definitely Hansel and Gretel vibes on this one.
Yeah, I think the album cover is pretty good for Chrissy McVie's nice drawing. I will admit I hated it. I mean, there's a huge chunk of album covers that I just didn't listen to because of the album covers, and this was one of them. This, Then Play On, Mr. Wonderful, just Mr. to me. Like
me.
The album
the cover fits for Mr. Wonderful though.
Yeah. Heroes Are Hard to Find. That one.
Oh yeah.
That one's probably the worst offender of all the album covers. Like people like to crap on Mr. Me, which I understand that, but
Mr. Me is at least funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but
Heroes Are Hard to Find is like, what is this even supposed to be?
Like what is it like?
What's going on here?
Are those the heroes? I mean, I could see why it's so hard to find.
Yeah, they don't look like heroes.
No.
They look like villains, if anything.
Yeah.
Let's get to a reviewing. First track on the album, This Is a Rock.
So I'm going to go ahead and say for all of these tracks, I'm just going to read my notes word for word and then explain later because some of the things I wrote, I'm reading back and they're kind of funny.
Okay.
So I put, for This Is the Rock, it's 50s sounding, it's okay. Better than Dust My Broom. And that's about all I have to say about it.
That's a pretty unfair comparison, though. I mean, almost anything's better than Dust My Broom. I mean, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is Jeremy Spencer. Right off the bat, it starts right off the bat with him. Again, it's back to blues. I will give him him a little bit of credit. He sounds a little bit less annoying than on the previous albums. His voice didn't bother me as much. And there was a solid bass line in this one. But I will say it's definitely a very weak opening track. It's kind of, it's okay, like it's okay, but again, not really a good way to start the album, I think. So it's fine, but yeah, it's one of my least favorite songs on the album, honestly.
Yeah, my opinion on it though, comparing it to the first track on Then Play On, Coming Your Way, and the first track on the following album, Future Games, Woman of a Thousand Years, is just way worse than both songs. I even I might get hate for saying this, but I think this is the worst opener yet of the first four. I think uh, Stop Messing Around from Mr. Wonderful is better. I think My Heart Beats Like a Hammer is way better. I love the guitar playing on it. And the vocals by Spencer to me is a tiny bit better. But I don't know. This song just isn't that good of an opener. I mean, they could have picked up a much better opener for this album. And this is not that, but this song just shows a big drop off in their quality.
Another thing I'm going to say is that this song starts a string of 1950s esque songs that Jeremy Spencer does on this album. It's like he went from slide guitar blues to 50s. And every song he does on this album, with the exception of maybe one, and everything he does on the past few albums as well, all sound like he's imitating somebody. It's like he can't ever really show himself. He's always either imitating a famous slide guitar player or imitating a 1950s artist, and he's not original. And I guess that's why he's the worst member of the band, because he's just not original. Even his little EP that got kicked off of Then Play On is just him imitating other artists. Like, that's all he does is imitate.
Yeah, he's just. I know this sounds like a messed up way to compare it, but I always call him the cancer. I mean, I told this to Garrett earlier, just me and him, but he's the cancer of Fleetwood Mac. I mean, like 2 albums with him are not that good. One album that they released in this bluesy Peter Green era, Then Play On, is not only the best album of the four, it's my favorite album of Fleetwood Mac. So to have him return and do his thing, it just shows how much of a curse he is to the band. He's King Midas in reverse. He quite literally is what the album I'm showing. He's literally the King Midas in reverse. Literally anything he touches turns to dust. Like Fleetwood Mac, probably the band he's in. It's just I could just imagine, like, to me, every band that Clapton touches turns to gold. Like Yardbirds, John Mills, Blue Breakers, Derek and the Dominoes, Blind Faith, Cream. Like I feel like if they would have been in the same band together, it would have evened out. Probably, it would have just been an okay band. Like, wouldn't have been amazing, but it wouldn't have been bad. But I went on a stupid little side tangent. But yeah, this song is such a drop off from their previous stuff and even a lot of the stuff that they do after. Next song on the album, Station Man.
This is the first Danny Kerwin song we have on the album, and this one is actually pretty good. They got some pretty prominent backing vocals from Christine McVie, whose voice actually goes with Danny Kerwin's voice really well. And there's some great drumming here from Mick Fleetwood as well. So this one is a win in my book.
Yeah, I agree. This was actually written by Kerwin and John McVie, and apparently Jeremy was involved in the writing, which shocked me. But this is a whole lot better than the first song. It's the longest song on the album. I really enjoyed the kind of slow fade in, kind of saying kind of pulling you in almost. And yeah, I mean, Danny has some great guitar playing. The percussion by Mick Fleetwood, again, very cool. Even the nice little guitar solo in the middle. Yeah, just a really good vibe. And of course, you hear Christine's vocals on here. And of course, every time I hear Christine, I get happy. So yeah, this is a great song.
Yeah, you guys might not like me for saying this. This is this is just an okay song. I do appreciate the Christian McVie's vocals. She is my favorite Fleetwood Mac member, along with Bryer. Beside, like, coming from the next album all the way to Tango in the Night, I feel like she was very consistent with their songwriting. Like, amazing, her vocals and all that. So she's starting to like grow. Like, I mean, she was just like a session musician kind of in Mr. Wonderful and then Play On. She's starting to grow a little more, and I like the evolution, but right now she still needs a little work, and she's not doing any of the writing really yet, and she's not doing any lead vocals. I mean, to me, it's just kind of like a tease. Like, come on, just let her sing already. Let her sing a gosh darn song. I mean, maybe that's probably how Bryer feels too about that. Like just let her sing a lead vocal in one of these songs. Like, Jeremy Spencer have to, does this Broom guy have to have all the songs that he had? Like, come on, like, does This Is a Rock really have to open up the album? What could have been great if like McVie might have wrote a song and like sung it and be like, I don't know. I'm going on a side tangent, but it's good. But comparing to like the stuff that Danny did on the last album, it's just not as good. Even the stuff they did next album, it's just a weird middle piece for Danny. Like, you know, Spencer's getting more of his way. Green's out of the band. So I don't blame him. He was probably in a weird spot on this album. So that's probably the reason why his songwriting isn't as strong as he was on the last album and the album that comes after. I don't blame him, but yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah, I think once Peter left, I think Danny did kind of lose that writing partnership that they had. I mean, when listening to this album, I always felt that Danny and Jeremy didn't really get along. So that is where it's kind of this weird middle ground. So that's what I'm getting.
It's like if like I know Cream and all that with like Clapton, Bruce, and Ginger. They all work together, three of them. But like, it's like if Clapton was out of the band for a little bit and Bruce and Ginger Baker made an bassist, great drummer. What's the worst that could go wrong? Well, when you have two people who hate each other, not for like, well, it was for creative differences, but when you have two people who work together, most of the time it doesn't work. Like with Mardi Gras, it didn't work. Like this isn't Rumors yet. Where
when you have five people who hate each other, it goes perfectly.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Yeah, I'll say with Rumors it works, but for this album, it's just a mess. This album with them like two personality clashes. Like one wants to be a generic like 50s rock star, one wants to kind of continue what he was doing with them Play On. He was in a weird spot, so I'm not a fan of this song, but I gotta give him a break for it. Condolences to you, Danny Kerwin. I wish you had full reign on this album like you did with Them Play On, because I know gosh darn well this would have been a lot better if you would have been the person in charge again.
He'll get to be somewhat in charge again on the next one.
Yeah, and it works perfect.
He works so much better with Welsh.
Yeah, he works great with the Green. I mean, if he had more albums with Green, he would prove it. But he only had the one album, which is so sad. Man, he does work well with Green, and I feel like he works with both of them well. I feel like they're equal with that. But this is why I prefer the Welch era, because you have more Danny working with Welch with Bare Trees and Future Games. Well, with Them Play On, you just have Them Play On, and I could go on all the people, like all the personal problems and all that in here, but we'll just talk about forever. Next song on the album, Blood on the Floor.
Okay, here's another one I'm going to read word for word. Oh boy, in all capitals, ... Jeremy's absence is sorely missed on this album. It feels more like a parody than an actual song.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is another one I didn't care for. It has a weird country sound to it, and Jeremy's vocals on this one just are so hokey. Like, it just, I don't know. I know I said that his vocals annoyed me less on this album. This song kind of brings back the annoyance. I mean, Christine's playing piano on it, so it has that. But overall, yeah, another song I could just skip over.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna agree with the three of you guys. This track is not the best. I was talking to Garrett. I don't know if it was on the group chat or if it was just me and him. This first side is very hard to go through. Like side 2 is better, but this first side is rough. It is really bad. Like this song, it's probably. Oh man, I hate to say this, but this is probably a drop off from the debut album. Like this is probably, now that I'm really thinking about it, this is probably definitely worse than the debut album. I don't want to spoil it because we're going to be doing a mini ranking at the end of all 4 albums. But oh man, that sucks because I hate to put a Danny Kerwin album lower than an album that he isn't on, because he's definitely one of my favorite members of Fleetwood Mac. And oh man, this song is rough to go through. It doesn't even feel like I'm listening to it. I feel like I'm just going through it, just going through the motions. It's just not good. Not good at all. Hi Ho Silver is next. And I'll go first on this one. This sucks. This is really bad. I hate this song. This is an insult. I feel insulted as, like, if I was a Fleetwood Mac fan at the time and I got them play on in the UK, and then I'm like, oh man, they're getting better. You know, they may have had a little dud in Mr. Wonderful, but they're getting better. They learn from their mistakes. You know, people learn. You know, they have a decent debut. They have a, you know, everyone makes mistakes. You know, with Mr. Wonderful, they're not going to make any more.
Sophomore slump. You know, you get over it and you make your 3rd album.
Mm-hmm. And then you know what? I'm gonna wait for the 4th one. This is gonna be epic. And then I play the first 4 songs, and then I get to this song especially. I'm just like, really? Is this like a F you to me? Like, is this supposed to be like an insult to me or something? Is this supposed to be like, yeah, we don't care about you anymore? Because, oh man, this is bad. This is really bad. I keep saying it, but man, this is an insult. You know, when Bryer said that that 3rd or 4th Dust My Broom lick was like his moment where he's like, "Am I being? Do they think I'm dumb or something?" This is like the point where I'm like, "Really? Are they like insulting me? Like, oh yeah, since you like us now, let's throw piles of crap at you and expect you to like it now." I don't know.
So I'm going to, again, just read my notes verbatim. Jeremy, stop imitating other people! ! You're not Elvis and you're not Buddy Holly.
Right. Well, it's up to me now. You guys are going to hate me. I actually didn't mind this song.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, yeah, it's a cover. It's a cover of Big Joe Turner, who was a big blues musician in the day. I can't remember what I honestly can't remember what Jeremy sounded like on the album, on the song. I felt like I just completely ignored his voice and just focused on the music instead, because I thought the music was actually pretty solid. I like the guitar riff, a lot heavier, probably the heaviest on this album. And of course, I dig that sort of heavy sound. Definitely has a much bigger pulse than the other songs that Jeremy has given us. I think I said this I can't remember what song. There was a song on the debut that was kind of on a similar vein, but yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the song, honestly. Not bad.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey, well, we're all entitled to opinion. It's not like I was expecting you guys to hate the song like I did. I don't know. As
long as you didn't say Blood on the Floor is the best one.
No.
Oh yeah. Blood on the Floor and Hi Ho Silver. Those 2 are the worst songs on the album easily. Not even. I can't even think of any other song that could be worse than those 2.
Honestly, I feel like I know Nick gave his rant, but honestly, I think the "Does My Broom" thing offended me a lot more than this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, like in the context of this album.
Yeah, I get it.
If I was looking at the context of the discography, like, I mean, even in the context of like ignoring Mr. Wonderful, looking at the first third of this album, I don't know. But yeah. Next track, Jewel-Eyed Judy.
Finally, something good. I like this one. Danny Kerwin, more Danny Kerwin. This one, it's kind of slow on the choruses and then it picks up and it rocks in the middle. And I wrote, why can't we have Danny write all the songs?
Yeah,
Or I'm going to add to that, why can't we have Christine start writing songs?
yeah, I agree. This is another pretty good standout song. It was, yeah, this song definitely a huge highlight. What did I write here? I passed it. Here it is. Yeah, great. Danny sounds good on vocals here. Again, we're finally back to more melodic guitar playing, which I felt was kind of missing in the previous songs. Again, really great chorus to it. I really enjoyed this. Oh, kitty. Anyhow, I guess the
Happy
only
Jack wasn't told, but he wasn't. Or a cat.
the only like nitpick I would say, like I was listening on Spotify, and I'm not sure if this is on every single thing on every single recording, but the vocals were very were just in my left ear. I kind of would preferred it if it was more centered, but that's just a minor nitpick. It's still a really good song. Definitely a good highlight.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I will agree. Compared to the last two songs, this is a breath of fresh air. But yeah, still not impressed. Still not too impressed yet. This is still just an okay song. Yeah, it's okay. That ends off side one. Okay. Yeah, I tried showing my cat, but yeah, she doesn't like being held. I have
He
five
actually looks
cats.
like one of mine, honestly.
Yeah, I have 5 cats, and only 2 of them are tolerated being held.
Wow.
I know. I've got pretty lucky. I got pretty unlucky in terms of that. But yeah. You know how much I like this album when I tried diverting it into cats. You know.
I know.
Side 2, Buddy song.
You know what's weird is that this song is co-written by Buddy Holly's mom.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
I thought that was interesting. It's a cover of a Buddy Holly song, but all the lyrics are changed to references to Buddy Holly songs. And I wrote word for word in my notes, this is getting boring. Can't kick Spencer out already.
Yeah. And yeah, I only wrote one thing. Skip.
I actually don't think this is that bad. Again, still nothing really impressed me yet. It's probably the most tolerable stuff out of all the other stuff I've listened to so far, because I do like the Buddy Holly sort of tempo, and I'm just a sucker for Buddy Holly stuff, so that's probably why I tolerate it.
Buddy Holly.
Earl Grey is the next song on the album.
It's a nice instrumental. It's got some nice chord progressions, but nothing like extremely interesting going on here.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. It's a decent instrumental. Piano was kind of nice. Playing was pretty okay. I mean, the melody itself is pretty nice. I do like how it sounded, and Mick is providing a nice steady beat to it. It was fine. I liked it. It was not too bad.
I thought it was all right. It's pretty good. I mean, it's no searching for magic by any means, but if you take that out of your head, if you take off the consensus notions that every Fleetwood Mac instrumental is going to be great as that after then Play On, then you will.
Oh, well, part 2.
Yeah, it's not going to be an OL Part 2 either, but yeah, it's all right. It's a Fleetwood Mac instrumental and a Fleetwood Mac album. One Together is the next song on the album.
Okay, of all the Jeremy Spencer songs on this album, this one's actually okay. It's the only okay song he's done up to this point, and well, not and I'll say but it would have been much better as a Kinks song. Like looking at it, and I feel like it has a Kinks quality, not quality. What's not that's not what I'm thinking of. It has Kinks attributes to it that I just feel like if Ray Davies were to put his touch on it, could turn it into a great Kinks song. But because it's not Ray Davies, you just got this awkward Jeremy Spencer song that could be a lot better than it is.
Yeah, it sounds like something that would be on Musewell Hillbillies, but like probably like the weakest song on Musewell Hillbillies if he did present it to the Kinks, and they were nice enough to do it for him. But yeah, it sounds like something that like it sounds like a song that like Ray Davies wrote for Musewell Hillbillies, and he was like, I don't have enough room for the rest of the album, so dump it. So yeah, that should tell you how I feel about it. It just sounds like a reject Kinks song. Like it sounds like something that Ray Davies wrote, but like was like, I'll give it to the Dust My Broom guy. let him do whatever he wants to do with it.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add. And yeah, this is probably the best thing Spencer ever wrote. Again, that's not really saying a whole lot. I mean, compared to, I mean, his songs are still like towards the bottom, but again, this is one of his better vocal performances. The percussion was kind of interesting. The backing vocals was kind of nice to hear. It's not nothing crazy, but it's definitely a lot better than his other stuff. So I'll give him that.
Would you guys be interested in doing a video of ranking every Fleetwood Mac member?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
But I know who's on the bottom.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, even though they made that really bad Behind the Mask album, at least they didn't repeat anything over and over on Behind the Mask or Time. Like, yeah, I'll go more into that when we do talk about our worst member. Well, we all know Just My Broom Guy, but yeah, I'm glad we could all agree that he's the worst of the worst. Tell Me All the Things You Do is the next song on the album.
This is another Danny Kerwin song. It's good, and it's got really good guitar. But I guess that's really all I have to say about it. Even though it's one of my higher ranked songs on the album.
Yeah.
This is the best song on the album. Well, the best song so far on the album. Yeah, it's a shame that, well, to me, I think the best songs on the album are the last two songs on the album. Which
I was gonna say, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say for this song, definitely one of the good ones on here. Solid song. I really enjoyed the keyboard playing, which was Christine. That was Christine doing a lot of the keyboard stuff, and yeah, very nice touch she adds to it. Drumming was pretty good as well. The guitar was really nice. Really good bass line. I feel like I have not talked about bass line in this whole album, but this is where the bass line actually stood out more.
You're John McVie.
I know, right? I really slacked off on this album anyhow. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I thought this was definitely another good highlight on this album.
I'm sorry, Lily, for picking you up. Don't be mad at me. No, she just walked past me, and I'm like, oh, don't be mad.
Oh yeah, cats always give you the look.
Yeah. See, again, this album's so weak that I'm just sort of direct. I'm just looking everywhere, just distracted. Mission Bell is the last song on the album, and before you guys mention anything, this is easily the best song on the album, in my opinion. And I'm like, why did they say the best song on the album? Best song on the album for the last song? Like, I mean, the fact that he had to make me wait all that time just for this, it's just like, even then, like, Like the best song on this album probably wouldn't even beat my 10th favorite song off of Then Play On. So yeah.
Okay, here's what I said about this song. So I like this song better than most of the other Jeremy Spencer stuff, but my exact words were, "So long, Spencer. Don't let the door hit you on the way out."
I hope he doesn't get crushed by the mission bell. just like in Coco. It's a decent album closer. Again, you hear Christine once again providing backing vocals, which is a plus. The piano was really nice. It's Spencer's on the lead, so again, not the greatest vocals here, but again, it's one of his better performances on this album. So a solid, I wouldn't say solid, but tolerable album closer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than the album opener.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Good. Now we're not getting to everything good from now on in their discography up until a certain other people join the band. But
luckily, that's a long way away.
Long ways. The 1990s.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we get Future Game. We get the amazing Bob Welch era. Then we get the amazing Lindsey Buckingham Nicks era. So, yeah, those two eras are gonna is gonna make it well worth the wait. Like, yeah. But 5 favorite songs. 3 favorite songs if you can't think of 5. And
I got 5.
Yeah, I got 5.
I'll start with you, Garrett, since you started most of the time. This video.
And I can actually say my top 5 now. I'm not gonna stumble with it. Number 5 is The Mission Bell. Number 4 is One Together, and that's all Jeremy Spencer is going to get on my top 5 because Danny Kerman only did 4 songs and one's an instrumental. 3 is Station Man. 2 is Tell Me All the Things That You Do, and number 1 is Jewel-Eyed Judy.
Yeah, very good. For me, I'm going to go with number 5. I have One Together as well. Well, not in the same position, but in the top 5. Number 4, Earl Grey. Number 3, Jewel-Eyed Judy. Number 2, Station Man. And number 1, Tell Me All the Things You Do.
Okay. My number 5 is going to be Station Man. My number 4 is going to be Buddy Song. My number 3 is going to be Jewel-Eyed Judy. My number 2 is going to be Tell Me All the Things You Do. And my favorite is Mission Bell. I'll go to you, Garrett, for the album rating.
5 out of 10. This album is the epitome of meh.
I was a little bit forgiving, I guess. I gave it like a 6.
I give it a 6.5 out of 10. So I'll give you the rundown like I gave with Mr. Wonderful. So, like people say with the you're proven until you're proven until proven guilty or whatever. I say you're a 10 out of 10 until proven otherwise, and starts at like 10 out of 10, and then This Is a Rock, the lousy opener, docks it down 2 points. That's how bad it is. Like if Mr. Wonderful's opener is better than you, I have to dock you 2 points for that. I have to dock it down 1 point for it just being very mediocre, like nothing really changing about it. And I'll dock it half a point for the 2 songs in a row, Hi Ho Silver and Blood on the Floor. That's the half, just for having those 2 songs back to back. And all 3 of us agreed on it. We're gonna be doing a mini ranking. It's gonna be Garrett number 4, and then Bryer, then me, and it's just gonna go around. Garrett, because this is the end of there's a bunch of errors, not a bunch, but they have 4 errors. They have the Peter Green Blues era, which we just finished. So we're gonna be ranking the 4 albums from the blues era. So, Garrett, what is your number 4 on the blues era? The blues.
Coming to nobody's surprise, number 4 is Mr. Wonderful.
hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Where's he gonna get this time?
Does he have it? Did he get it?
Oh my god.
The madman done it. He got the album.
He actually signed with the devil. Honestly, I don't even think the devil would want it. All right, suspense is killing me now.
Yeah, what is he getting?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, he got the doll.
Oh
no. There you go. Put it on the other side. There you go. Now you got it.
That's it.
Just get a hat and you got it. And you
Floppy
really
hat.
got it. Yeah. Where did you
Stand in
get
the
that
bushes.
doll anyway?
I may have taken that a bit too far, but okay, continue with why Mr. Wonderful could possibly be your number 4.
All right. What's your number 4 and why is it Mr. Wonderful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave your reasons already, Garrett?
I don't even think I
feel like
even need to
we
explain.
don't
Just
really need to
all I'm
explain
gonna
it.
say is just watch our review and you'll find out. If you're for everybody being like, oh, Kiln House, I remember when that came out. It is this lovely Christine McVie drawing, and I just wanted to see what it was like for you young people to actually review that album. And you've never listened to Mr. Wonderful and don't know why it's that bad. Go watch our review on it.
Yeah. How about you, Bryer? You have any reasons? Do you have any things to add?
Well,
That's fair.
aside from it pissed me off, but then yeah, I don't have much else to add. Insulted my
Okay,
intelligence and wasted my time.
I will add why my number 4, along with ours, is Mr. Wonderful. Insert shocked Mr. Wonderful face. It's because it's not even of its time. It's behind its time. It's way behind its time. And you're probably thinking, there are some Fleetwood Mac fans that are like, well, you just don't understand the blues, man. Well, guess what, you Fleetwood Mac fans? Cream with Eric Clapton made Wheels of Fire one of the greatest blues rock albums of all time, and it was released the same goddamn year as that. Some of the greatest blues guitar playing on any album, some of the best blues stuff, and that was also 68. So don't go telling me being like, well, you just don't understand. It's good blues. Well, listen to Wheels of Fire. Listen how advanced that is in sound with Clapton, and then tell me to listen to Spencer play that crappy slide guitar over and over and tell me that it's on the same level as it's an insult. I will agree. It pisses me off, this album, especially knowing that there's fans of it. Like the fact this came out the same year as Wheels of Fire by Cream, Village Ring by the Kinks, Ogden's Looking Flake, the White Album. I mean,
the Zombies, Odyssey, and Oracle.
It's just an insult to fans of music. But yeah, that's my number 4. Okay, Garrett, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Kiln House.
Well, yeah. Well, we just went through a whole video on it, so
yeah. If you want to know why, just hit rewind.
Yeah. How about you, John McVie? What's your number 3?
All right. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go with what I've written as of last time I heard the album, because I've been kind of keeping track of my ranking as we're going along with it. So I'm gonna just go with what I have written at the moment. I'm gonna go with the debut at number 3 as of right now. I mean, again, I have to go back and re-listen to the debut again because I haven't listened to it since. But again, it's bluesy. Definitely a lot more. There's a lot more to it than Mr. Wonderful. But there's one thing that this album does not have, and I'll explain when I talk about my number 2.
That's fair. My number 3, I'm going to agree with Garrett. It's Killing House. And, well, watch the video and you'll find out. But one thing that really upsets me is the time, too. This 1970, Bridge Over Troubled, like, at this point, your contemporaries are really doing good. Let It Be by the Beatles. Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. Crosby, Stills, and Nash's Deja Vu album came out this year. Layla and Other Assorted Songs came out this year. I mean,
Led Zeppelin 3.
Zeppelin 3 came out this year. I mean, how can you compete? I mean, with this sound, how do you even think you could compete?
Cosmo's Factory.
I mean, the contemporaries are just so much better than this. I mean, at least with my number 1, at least even though it's not probably the best of the year came out, it's a lot. At least it kind of fits in that year. But this year, it's probably the worst album of 1970. I like that I've listened to so far. This is the worst album of 1970, and I'm proud to say that. I'm not ashamed to say that. This is easily the worst album of 1970. But yeah. Okay, Garrett.
That you've heard.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. It's an alright debut. It's got some good songs, but it's also very samey and repetitive. So, yeah, these bottom 3 are all kind of about the same.
That's fair. Well, besides the bottom one and the top one.
The bottom one is way worse, and the top one is way better. So.
Okay, John, what's your number 2?
Well, goes without saying, number 2 for me is Kiln House. Even though, yes, I agree, a lot of the songs are very bland, are very mediocre, especially from a certain someone. But there's one thing this album there's one thing that this album has that the other albums don't, and that it has, well, then again, my number 1 doesn't have, well, that's on a little bit, but this one, you can definitely hear Pristine on this one. That's really the main reason. Throughout this whole kind of average album, you have Christine acting like a glimmer of hope on what's to come. And so that's kind of like the only thing that only reason I ranked it above the debut. Even though, if I remember correctly, I think I ranked the debut higher than Kiln House. Again, I'm gonna have to re-listen to that album again, but yeah, I'm just gonna go number 2, Kiln House right now.
Okay.
Could change.
My number 2 is going to be Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, their second album. And yeah, me and the Garage are basically identical. Who knows? Maybe each of our rankings for besides the Lindsey Buckingham, because my favorite is Tusk and his favorite is Rumors. I mean, our number 1 and our number 2 are going to be swapped. But besides that, I feel like our ranking might be similar too with that. Maybe not, but I feel like this video and way later on down the line, me and Garrett's ranking of the Welch albums are going to be similar. But yeah, me and him are just identical on this, and I can see why. But yeah, the debut of Fleetwood Mac. I hate to say this, but I gave it an 8 out of 10. Either an 8 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. I forgot what I rated, but the reason why I think it's better is because even though it's not the best, there's still good playing on it. Peter Green stuff is really good, and even Spencer stuff is a lot more tolerable on the first album. Like it has Shake Your Moneymaker, My Heart Beats Like a Hammer. That's about it, but I'd probably take those 2 songs over Mission Bell, but I don't know. I'm definitely probably in the minority of the 3 of us on that, but yeah, that's my number 2. Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. Garrett, what's your if you know the album, you will know, but yeah. What's your number 1, Garrett?
I'm gonna have to think about that. My number 1 is Then Play On, the best album that they've come out with so far, and it's not even close. Like, so many good songs. so many good songs on this album, and no Jeremy Spencer. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, goes us like, I mean, we can all agree as of right now, our number one is that album. You can kind of see back there. Yeah. Then Play On definitely has some of the best songwriting so far, the most interesting stuff, a lot more memorable songs. The guitar playing on the album is a lot, so much more engaging, and yeah, just a really really great album. Really great album for Peter Green to go out on.
And keep in mind, we think very highly of this album, and we're talking about the version that doesn't have a well in it. I mean, I know Garrett prefers the oh well version, but even without oh well, it's a lot better than the other three. But yeah, that concludes the video for today. I did have a viewer throughout the video, which was nice. They didn't comment at all. Um, Me, Garrett, and Bryer, we will be. I don't know when we're gonna be doing the next album, but the next album is gonna be Future Games, which, oh man,
yes,
I'm so stoked to do that one. That album is just so much better than this we just reviewed.
the long box.
Yep. But thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna be going off to review a Steely Dan album, Royal Scam. Very excited to review that one. Thank you guys for watching, and so long. See ya.